wake up, tune in, take a sip. Start the day with laughs that hit. Coffee's hot, the jokes are prime. Coffee with catfish in morning time. Brew the fun, take a seat. Our daily chuckles can't be beat. Funny moments sip by sip. Join us now, don't let it slip.
Good morning, folks. The time is 9:23 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 8th of June 2025, or the 9th if you're on the other side of the planet there, like my friends in Australia, my friends in Melbourne. How are y'all doing today? My name's Lee. I'm the guy who started the group. Well, I thought it was funny. You, my friend, you are you, and you are awesome. How do I know you're awesome? Well, these groups were nothing until you got here, and these groups are pretty awesome now. I'm not great at math, but 1 and 1 equals 2, and that means you are the awesome part of this equation, my friend. So thank you so very much for making us great, folks. What's going on in your day today, folks? Why don't you leave a quick comment on this video, just a little blurb about what's happening in your day. We'd love to hear anything. We love to talk about your day. I think it makes these videos a little bit more interesting. So why don't you take a second here, pause the video, leave that comment on the video, and then come right back and finish watching it. I would love if you do that, folks. What's happening in my day? I will tell you what's happening in my day today, and I'll tell you what I did yesterday. Let's start with yesterday. Yesterday, Wendy and I went to her family reunion in a town north of Calgary, about just a little over an hour north of Calgary. It's called Innisfail, and it's their family reunion. They do it every 2 years, and it's a great time. Bunch of people, and good food, and lots of fun. And they play a game there. They play a game called Bunnock, also known as Bones. Now, this is a game that it's thought to have started with Russian soldiers a long time ago, and it's related to a game called Cub, or similar to a game called Cub. Now, I've never played that. I've just read that. And what it is the game is traditionally played with horse ankle bones. Yes, horse ankle bones. And they're lined up in a row. I'm going to show a picture of that, actually. I'm going to show a picture of the way they're kind of lined up. It's not a great photo, and I do apologize. I didn't get a lot of good photos yesterday. And you've got your white bones in the middle. There's a certain number. I didn't count them. You can count them. They're in the photo. And then you have your colored bones on the ends. Now, the bones on the ends are called the guards. And what it is you have this, facing each other, 2 sets just like this. And each team lines up on each side. And you kind of bowl, like you take one of these bones, not the ones that are lined up there, but you have other ones that you toss, or bowl, I'm not sure if you want to call it, it's tossing. And what you do is you're trying to take out your opposing side's bones, like knock them down, knock down the soldiers, or whatever you want to call them. But you do have to start with the guards on the end. Now you have to knock those out first before you can start knocking out the other ones. Now if you knock out one of the other bones, like the white bones, I don't want to profess to know how to play the game, but this is what I've noticed. If you take out one of those before you hit the guards, they get set up again, but on just to the outside of your guard. So if your guard's on the right side, it'll just go to the right of the guard, and I think it's like the width of a bone, that's what they call the pieces, from that guard, and then it keeps lining up like that if you keep hitting the wrong ones, and on either side. It's actually, it looks like an interesting game. I haven't played it, and I should. Next time we go to the reunion, so in 2 years, I'm going to play. But it's a really interesting game. I wish I had got some better video, but there are videos online, and I'll try to remember to leave a link in the notes of the video. One thing about the game is most people that play it come from Saskatchewan. Or Western Canada. It's mostly played in Canada. It might be played other places because it's rumored to have started by Russian soldiers started playing it. As I said, it's played with horse ankle bones. Traditionally, now you buy new ones. They're usually a polymer or a plastic now, so they're not just from horse ankle bones. It's just the traditional pieces are from. And the World Championships happen in a town called Macklin, Saskatchewan. This is the area where my wife's family on her dad's side settled, I think, back in 1929, or that's when Grandma and Grandpa got married, and that's, everybody at this family reunion are, offshoots of Grandma and Grandpa. And it's kind of interesting that the game, it's really like the World World Championships right there in Macklin, Saskatchewan. They have the world's largest bunnock, which is what they call it. Bunnock is the bone, and it's also the name of the game. And what it is, it's sort of like an information center too. Like you can go inside this bunnock, and I'll show a picture of that too. And I've been in it before. It's kind of neat. It's like one of those roadside attractions. Kind of interesting. So that's the game that they play, and it's a traditional game. And there's not a lot of people in the world that play it, and the people that do play it seem to be all related to or friends of these families, because they all sort of come from that same little part of Saskatchewan. It's kind of interesting. And so there are several videos on YouTube, and I'll try to leave a link. I'll try to remember to leave a link to it. It's kind of fascinating, my friends. It really is. I never heard of the game until I met my wife, and then we married and all that. But I never heard of the game. Neat stuff, my friends, and that's what they did yesterday. Aside from just hanging around and just talking and just having a good time. Great people, great time. Today, I'm doing this video, and then I might go and set up my PlayStation VR that I purchased. Actually, I've purchased two. I bought a PlayStation VR one. That's a virtual reality helmet for the PlayStation. I bought one, and then I bought another one, a more updated one. So I might finally hook those up and try them out. But I wouldn't mind getting outside. It's kind of a nice day. So, who knows what's going to happen. But I want to make something happen. Wendy is going for brunch with her lady friends. And she'll be heading out pretty soon for that. So that's my plans today. Not much. Want to get out and do something. And maybe play with that virtual reality helmet. Play a video game or something like that. That's all I got going. Yesterday was a busy day. Tired today from yesterday. But I'm not going to let that stop me from doing something today. What are you doing today? And I heard from Gail Countaway yesterday. She's my co-admin on these groups. And she was hanging out with her nephew. And I think they're going to be having a good weekend. He likes creepy crawly stuff, so she's going to be watching horror movies and stuff like that. But stuff that she hates, like spiders. But hey, that's what you do, right? When you're with the kids, you got to make the kids happy. So it sounds like she's going to have a good weekend there. Rose Glad sent in a great photo of her two pooches out on the porch with their very well chewed ropes. Look at those two beautiful, handsome, pretty, whatever you want to call them. Those great looking dogs. I think all dogs are gorgeous, but those are two good looking dogs, my friends. Thank you for sharing, Rose. I love when you share stuff, Rose. You share lots, and it's appreciated. I hope you've been feeling better. I hope you're recouped. You said you weren't feeling good on Thursday, so I hope you're feeling better. I hope you get your strength back, and I hope you're having a great weekend. So thank you for sharing that, Rose. And you know what? I got a photo from Dave. Actually, a photo collage from Dave Knapp. The guy I get all those jokes from, my friends. Dave shares a lot too, including a lot of great memes. But he's right now there's a huge cicada, I guess, I don't know what they call it, but like bloom of cicadas. Cicadas are a very interesting insect, whether or not you like bugs or not. They have a very interesting life cycle. They spend most of their life underground, and they come out in waves, because 1 year of cicadas, they might be underground for 17 years or whatever it is, and then they come to the surface and they climb up a tree, and then they sing the song of their people. And it's a very interesting trilling noise. I think different cicadas have different frequencies in that, but right now there are countless thousands of them out east. We're in the west. I'm in Western Canada. They're not as prevalent here, but a huge, I can call it a bloom of them out, and they have an interesting call. Now, Dave shared a video, and for some reason I can't seem to share it today, but he did provide a little collage of two photos of a cicada that's on his tire, and they're everywhere right now. It's going to be a couple of weeks before they go to the next part of the life cycle, and I don't know the whole life cycle of the cicada, but look them up. They're interesting. But Dave sent a collage of two photos, and it's a cicada on one of his tires, and they are kind of an ugly bug. Well, I won't call them ugly. I mean, to other cicadas, they probably look fantastic, but yeah, they're all over right now, and they're singing the song of their people. They're really, really loud. I love the sound of cicadas. Now, I don't know if I've ever experienced anything like what's going on right now. I mean, I lived down east for years, but I don't recall hearing like this incredible sound of cicadas. But Dave did share a video, and if I can get a copy that I can share, I'll try to share that tomorrow. But it's just incredible the noise that they make, or sound they make. And I personally like the sound of cicadas, but it's almost creepy when it's on this level. So thank you so very much, Dave. Thank you, Rose. Thank you to Gail for sharing her day too. And I want to hear about your days too, my friends. Leave a comment on this video and we'll talk about your day tomorrow. I have a couple of great posts I want to share with you this morning, like most mornings. Now, the two posts are coming from, we've got one from Stacy Fast and the other one is from Janet McDougall Bailey. And we're going to start off with Stacy's post right now, bringing it up right now. This pertains to me. I'm very light skinned and I'm almost like, I look like I'm carved out of lard. I'm so white, I tell you, at least at the beginning of summer. Now I do eventually get some color, but it's mostly red. Anyone else like that? I know there are. Stacy, thank you very much. Thanks for making me laugh. And I know you made some other people laugh out there too, Stacy. Thank you. Now the next one, Janet McDougall Bailey's post, and I'm bringing that up right now. I don't smoke anymore, but I used to. And I used to have this problem. I used to be this problem. You know, it always happens and it goes in cycles. And calling out my friend Tim. No, actually, Tim, it wasn't a problem. Tim and I suffered from this problem with other friends of ours. Thank you very much, Janet. Thank you very much, Stacy. Thanks for making me laugh, and thanks for making a lot of other people laugh. That's what it's all about, folks. It's about making people laugh, and you're really good at it. That's why we're over 777,000, almost 780,000, and just about 800,000, my friends. That's why. It's because this place is funny. It's funny because of posts like that. Now, if your post makes me laugh tomorrow, maybe your post will be the one I share. Where are we, friends? Once again, it's that part of the video where I wish I had a clip of me on a Segway going from all the way across so we can have a Segway from one section to the other. I'll tell you where we are. Well, let's work out where we are, actually. I did start off. I told you what time it was, at least what time it was when we started. Then I told you the date on my side of the world and on the other side of the world, especially with my friends in Melbourne. And then I talked about my day. I asked about your day. We shared a great photo from Rose Glad of her two wonderful dogs. We shared a collage from my friend Dave Knapp of a cicada on one of his tires. And there's countless numbers of cicadas right now singing their songs in the eastern part of North America, and that's where he lives. I did share a bit about the game Bone/Bunnock that is played at the whine family reunions. That's my wife's family reunion. An interesting game. Look it up. Hopefully I left a link in the notes. Man, I'm a little forgetful. Sometimes I do forget. So, yeah, and I want to hear about your day. So talk to me. You know, leave a comment on the video about your day today, my friends, and we'll talk about your day tomorrow. So from that, I know that I went to the part of the video where I share a couple of posts, and then from there we got to here, and from here, where do we go? You know where we go. We go right to the bad jokes. What's the difference between a black-eyed pea and a chickpea? A black-eyed pea can sing us a song, but a chickpea can only hum us one. Why did Waldo go to therapy? To find himself. How do aliens get their baby to sleep? They rock it. What happened when the man crashed his expensive car? He found out how a Mercedes really bends. I once participated in an astronomy-themed competition. I didn't win, but I did get a constellation prize. I've got a pen that writes underwater. I mean, it writes a whole bunch of other words, but it writes underwater. What's green and has wheels? Grass. I lied about the wheels part. What's the hardest type of tea to swallow? Reality. What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk. My new thesaurus is terrible. And not only that, it's terrible. Thank you so very much for coming back for those jokes, folks, because that's the most work in the video is that part. And I do appreciate you coming back. And I know some of you find them funny, and that's the whole point of the jokes, is to make you laugh, right? The whole point of the group groups, I should say, sorry, is to make you laugh. And the jokes are one part where it's actually me specifically trying to make you laugh. And I love it. I love the fact you come back. I got to thank my friend Corey, who's very vocal about the jokes. I love it. And you know what? I got to thank people who send me jokes too, because it's the toughest part of the video to make is the jokes, but it's the best part of the video. And when I have you send me jokes, it makes it a little bit easier to get them done. My friend Dave Knapp sends me jokes all the time. My lovely, beautiful wife sends me jokes all the time. In fact, today, the first 2 jokes are from my beautiful, wonderful wife. And the first joke about the black eyed peas, she sent me several jokes from this lady telling them, and I've never thanked the lady for telling them, and I gotta do that. Chrissy Fresca from, I believe, Instagram, Facebook, places like that. Great joke teller, and my wife sent several jokes from her over the last few months, and I should have been crediting her too. So thank you to Chrissy Fresca. Thank you to my beautiful, wonderful wife Wendy for sending me those jokes from Chrissy Fresca. And I want to tell your jokes. Send your jokes to jokes@wellit.funny.com. And if I use your joke, I'm going to thank you too. I don't steal jokes, at least not intentionally, my friends. So send your jokes to jokes@wellit.funny.com. If you want to do something a little more wild while you're at it, why not record you telling a joke? Whether it's video or audio, send that in to jokes@wellit.funny.com, and maybe I'll share that too, my friends. So send your jokes to jokes@wellit.funny.com. Do me a favor today, maybe 2 favors if you can. Try to make somebody laugh if it's an appropriate moment. And if you can, make sure that you're laughing too. That's what I'm asking you, my friends. Do that. Make me happy. Thank you. Let's wrap up this video. It's Sunday and you've got things to do, my friends. I want to thank you again, though, for making us such an incredible group. Or groups. And once again, there are 2 groups. Well over 750,000 people in these groups. Our community. Let's call it a community. I like to call us the funniest city on the internet. That's right, the funniest city on the internet. Population us, my friends. Funny people in a funny place, making people laugh. And boy, are we good at it. We're great at it. And thank you very much for making us a funny place, because we weren't until you got here. You know, we're on a race to 1 million, possibly. I cross my fingers because there's a lot of people that believe in jinx, and I I do that for them. But I do like to say, even if we don't get another person, not a single new person to the group, we're already the funniest city on the internet. We're the best group on the internet, my friends. And we're like that because of you. So thank you so very much. Thanks for being here. I'm going to be here again tomorrow. You're probably going to be here again tomorrow too. And I don't want to take that for granted, though. You know, I appreciate you being here. And hopefully we have a couple of new people. But if we don't, we're the best already, my friends. All the love.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I think it was funny.
Well, I thought 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 it was funny.